Sex. It's a hot topic.
It's very enjoyable making love.
It's all right at the very beginning because we could have it twice.
There's a lot to uncover when you go under the covers. In this series, we're asking groups of people about their sex lives. And today, we're digging into religion and relationships.
Personally, for me, I'd never eat pork, but then I'd have sex before marriage.
Okay.
Let us give thanks.
How far would you go to show your devotion?
After finding Christ, I vowed to stay abstinent until marriage.
When it comes to finding love, what rules, your heart or your religion?
Love at first sight moment. I couldn't control it, and religion didn't come into my head at that time.
And what happens to your love life if you lose your faith?
The first time that I had sex after leaving the religion, I actually said this out loud. Wow, that was like in the movies.
These reality stars and content creators have come to a studio to talk about their sex lives. At this stage, not everyone knows what each other believes, and like the UK, it's quite a mix. In the 2021 census, over 27 million people in England and Wales identified as Christian. That's a 13.1 decrease from the previous census in 2011.
Hey everyone, I'm Junaid and I'm Muslim.
I'm Sacha and I'm Christian.
I'm Nav and I'm a Sikh.
I'm Adarsh and I'm Hindu.
I'm Riley and I used to be a Jehovah's Witness.
The religious landscape of the UK is constantly changing. So while some people, the majority, still identify as Christian and more people are identifying as non-religion, there's still diversity because more people are identifying as Muslim and as Sikh. So there's a very diverse, rich religious culture in this country.
In a recent study, 10,000 Brits answered a questionnaire about their faith, religion and spirituality. 64% of Gen Z respondents said they were spiritual, compared to 41% in the Gen X age range. But among the study's participants, there was a leap of faith between the generations when it came to religion, with 28% of Gen Z respondents identifying as religious. So, it's good news for religion, but when it comes to relationships, how far will this lot go to remain faithful?
I think when we have discussed marriage, which we're not there yet, but we'll probably do a Hindu ceremony and a Sikh ceremony, but not the Sikh wedding.
Yeah.
Guys, I'd love an invite.
Yeah, you're invited. Everyone's invited.
But before anyone gets hitched, it would appear sex before marriage is a no-no.
I don't believe in sex before marriage, so I'm abstinent until marriage.
Have you not had sex?
Oh, in my whole life, so I've not always been Christian.
Oh, right, okay, I was going to say.
So I found my faith last year. But in your religion, do you believe in sex before marriage? man anyway.
I completely agree.
But
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But then to trust someone who doesn't fear God as well. Do you know what I mean?
But then Sacha, obviously you can't have sex before marriage. If you can't trust a man, baby girl, when are you gonna have sex?
I think at the moment, because I'm in a moment of singleness, very singleness, we call it waiting season. I think because there's no temptation there, I'm not dating anyone, I don't really miss it at all, and I know that it will be worth the wait when I've got that marriage.
It's amazing that you're devoted, but is there not one bit of you that's like, oh, I'll like do that?
Probably just gossip.
Oh,
We're not meant to gossip, yeah. I mean, I know I love the tea, you know what I mean? So that's really hard.
By gossip, do you mean like you can't get involved in it or you can't consume it?
Oh, listen, come on, we always slag off someone over
Yeah, that's what
Love doing lookies like this. I'm a reality TV star and I am a Muslim. And I can't help but feel like you are that missing piece in my life that I love and want.
John.
Obviously, like me being Muslim, I'm openly gay and I'm very comfortable in who I am as a person. Obviously, being homosexual in Islam is completely forbidden. For me personally, like being in the public eye as well, I get a lot of abuse from other Muslims for purely being so openly who I am. But that never changed my relationship with God. I feel like, yes, even though it's forbidden, my relationship is still with God. I mean, I understand it's not accepted, but then so's a lot of different things.
There is constant debate around the interpretation of scripture or the meaning of practices or how homosexual people should be living their lives. Then, of course, there have always been LGBTQI plus people in religions, but their voices are often marginalised or made invisible. Many people find ways to identify in one particular way and to still maintain their religious faith.
Growing up as a Muslim, I used to go to mosque every single day. I also used to pray every single day and read the Quran, and it's something that I'm absolutely so happy that I did growing up and my parents led me down that path. I think it's hard to kind of describe the difference between faith and culture. Being a Muslim in Islam, it is forbidden to be gay. Culturally, it's not accepted neither. There's certain aspects of it that I do follow and I do practice, but there's obviously quite clearly certain things that I don't. I pray every single day, which people don't know about, but then obviously I do occasionally drink. In the Quran, it does say like you don't judge one another and kind of everyone's journey is with God themselves. When I came out when I was 18, if I'm honest, I don't know what the reaction was going to be, but I think because I was so scared to come out for so long, because I knew at a very young age, I always had that fear inside of me that it wasn't going to be something that they accept, which I wasn't surprised with. I knew it was kind of going to go down that way. And when I did finally come out, I did expect the worst, and what I did expect did happen. They threw me out, they disowned me. I don't blame them for it, I genuinely don't. It's made me the person I am today.
You ready?
No, I'm not ready.
Okay,
My
3,
eyes are closed.
2, 1, open your eyes.
Will you be
Will you be my boyfriend?
Oh my God, yeah. I think when you come from a cultural background, it's the hardest thing ever because homosexuality is so culturally forbidden and then also religiously so forbidden as well. And it makes so much because no one chooses to be gay.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like everything else that any holy book asks you to do can somewhat be controlled. I can try and watch my anger. I can not have sex before marriage or drink, but then who you fancy, that's completely out of your control, and I believe that's how God made you. That's what we always say.
Yeah.
It's definitely forbidden in Jehovah's Witnesses. I was quite homophobic as a Jehovah's Witness, even for a Jehovah's Witness.
Really? Is that you, sorry, can I ask, is that you as a person or is that because of your religion?
Both. So I was a Jehovah's Witness. I was raised in the religion from the age of about 2 up until 42. I was a very devout Jehovah's Witness. My mother was extremely devout in the religion, so it was my whole life. It's a denomination of Christianity. They identify as Christians, but they have a lot of beliefs that are very different from mainstream Christianity.
You don't do Christmas, do you? Is that
No
right?
Christmas, no birthdays, pretty much no holidays. The religion is very much focused on the end of the world. In fact, I'd say that's the single thing that defines the religion and separates it from other forms of Christianity. Everything is about preparing for Armageddon and ensuring your survival through it. I've been to various Jehovah's Witness congregations all over the world, and there definitely is a difference in terms of adherence to the religion's rules from country to country, from city to city, even between cultures. So not all Jehovah's Witness upbringings or backgrounds are going to be as strict as the ones I've experienced.
Religion is a living, organic, breathing thing. It's an interaction between doctrine and teaching and practices and history and people. And people are always going to adapt and interpret religious dictates and religious teachings for themselves. There's always going to be a diverse range of practices.
It wasn't my choice to leave the religion. I was actually expelled from the religion in a practice which they call disfellowshipping for breaking certain rules.
How did you feel about that?
It was devastating at the time. Now I think it's probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. They have a very, very strict shunning policy, which means that once you're removed from the congregation, no other Jehovah's Witness is allowed to talk to you, even close family and friends.
Oh.
Yeah. As a Jehovah's Witness, I got married at the age of 21. We were married for about 20 years. My marriage broke up 3 months before I left the religion. I almost started dating almost straight away, but I drew the line at sex, and particularly because I hadn't ruled out ever returning to the religion in the future.
When you leave that community, you're leaving your whole world that you've grown up with. You're leaving your friends, you're leaving your family, you're having to leave behind a whole set of values and views that have centered you up to that point. You'll have to unlearn the teachings that you knew. So that can be incredibly difficult and incredibly challenging for someone's well-being, their sense of who they are. It can be incredibly risky.
Aww. I love you. Mon amour.
It was after meeting the lady who would later become my wife on our first date. I know this is going to sound really cliche, but it was basically the closest thing to love at first sight. This is so cool.
Oh, yes, it's very cool.
I realized that I didn't want to have a future that didn't include her, whether that meant returning to the religion or not, or dying at Armageddon, as I believed at the time, or not. There were a lot of rules about what you were allowed to do and what you're not, even within marriage. So Jehovah's Witness married sex is very, very vanilla. The first time I had sex with my partner after leaving the religion, I didn't feel guilty at all. In fact, I was actually surprised by how guiltless I felt about the whole thing. In fact, I remember a specific time while we were actually doing it, I was thinking to myself, hey, Jehovah, witness this. I woke up yesterday morning to many messages of love and kindness. I read those messages and began to celebrate my birthday for only the third time in my entire life.
What was the things that you were doing to unlearn?
Just being open-minded, you know, being open-minded, making friends with gay people.
Oh, we're a great laugh, we are.
Yeah. I didn't go down the street with a big net trying to scoop them up or anything like that.
I'm looking for gay friends. All down the No, go on.
Bro, what do you mean?
Okay, you're talking about content creation that we do, right?
Yeah.
You're saying that bit after we've introduced each other.
You were gonna say it.
Because I said that we've been together for 3 years, so I thought you were gonna do this bit.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, we got it now. This is how we met. So.
The story of Nav and Adarsh meeting.
What's the hardest thing about being a Sikh, if there is anything that's hard?
Probably getting the backlash of being with a Hindu.
I wanted to ask this. I was so intrigued to know the dynamic here, because obviously
Are you serious? Look at that, guys.
Yeah, but look at it now. Oh my god. Oh, it's gone. It's disappeared.
No. I can still see it.
I can't feel it.
I think romance is important.